Good afternoon. My name is Nate Davis. I came aboard to ARIN about 2 months ago, and they're Director of Engineering, and I'm here today to give the ARIN update. Before I started, though, I wanted to pass along a message from Kim Hubbard. She's sorry that she's not here, and she wanted to say hi to everybody, and that she is planning on attending the next NANOG. Okay, starting first with some of ARIN's key projects. IPv6. ARIN is essentially IPv6 ready from a system standpoint as well as a business process standpoint. Our registration, modification functions, and IPv6 whois are ready, tested, and close to being put into production. SWIP is still under test, and we expect that to be completed here in the next few days. Y2K, like everybody else, ARIN's faced with the Y2K issue. Really, our Y2K project is really three components. First, we have legacy remediation underway, and that legacy remediation should be completed by the end of June. Likewise, we have some hardware upgrades to make, operating system upgrades to make, and that is to be expected to be done by the end of June. At the same time, we're migrating from Ingress as far as our database structure to Oracle. And all of our production systems should be completed and Y2K compliant by the end of June. Redundant servers. We're planning on placing redundant servers at Wright and APNIC. We actually have on site right now recently installed one of Wright's servers, and we're planning to do the same at Wright. We'll do the first server to Wright probably sometime this summer, and then later in the year actually install another server out to APNIC. The routing registry, I know there's been a lot of questions here the last few days concerning the routing registry. As you know, it started on February 8, 1999, and we've had 42 total objects to date, and about 24,186 queries to the routing registry. Taking another look at the breakdown of those queries. When the registry was first announced in February, we had about 8,300 queries. That peaked to about 15,100 in March and has now trickled down to about 664 in April. We think that was mainly due to the release of it, general interest, and now that's sort of died off a little bit. Realize this is a little bit of a busy chart, but our whois stats, we're running on average about almost 6 million queries total on our whois server. Just a slight trend upward on those from month to month when looking at 1999 compared to 98. We're seeing a little bit faster increase in the number of hosts, about 2.5 seconds, 2.5 queries per second, and 93% of those valid being actually returning a result. Moving on to the registration services group statistics, and this is a very busy slide. So I've taken a couple of the key components out of this and have some of this information on the following charts. First of all, the number of /24s have been issued. Looking at this chart, in the background is the total number of /24s. Middle ground are those to ISPs, and in the foreground, the yellow, are those to end users. What's interesting to note here is that in March and April, we had a peak, if you will, of the number of /24s issued. And that's really due to two reasons. The policy change that ARIN made with respect to issuing, lowering the minimal allocation from a /20, or from a 19 to a /20. And then also, we had a number of large ISPs come back for additional space. ASNs issued per month. Likewise, we've seen a general trend upward on the number of ASNs that are being issued each month. About this time last year, we were running about 76 ASNs issued a month. We're now running about 111. And the last slide that I have today is just the distribution of the CIDR blocks issued since the beginning of the year. To date, for this year, ARIN's allocated 3,376 total /24s up until the end of April. that's really all I have. I did want to mention that in summary, we had a members meeting in April, and during that time, the members actually made some recommendations. During the next NANOG meeting, Kim is planning to let everybody know what the results of those recommendations were. So,
Okay.
any questions?
Questions? Any questions? Okay. Well, thank you.
Thanks.